The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Tsuburaya Productions.
Hello everybody and welcome to part 4.
We're at the end of the month!
And we're ending on a low note.
Not really.
Well,
Sort of. We're starting low.
We're doing a parabola.
Okay.
Because on part 4, this is the last part of Gokaiger Month, we're doing the Flying Ghost Ship and the Gokaiger Gavan movie. Let's talk about the Flying Ghost Ship and how little it actually did. Also, I hate the Six Rangers when they do these in these types of movies.
How they're just never there.
Because they rarely show up.
Well, the movie opens with Guy. He's out jogging, and then he breaks the fourth wall, which has never happened before in the show, but here it is.
But if anybody is going to break the fourth wall in the Sentai, it would have been Guy.
It's going to be him.
Either him or Navi.
Which I think Navi did. In previous episodes or movies, I think Navi might have done that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Now, this movie starts off with a fake Gokaiger.
And this movie was also double billed with, because the way it works a lot, in Japan, not every movie is necessarily feature length, because this movie's only about 40 minutes long.
No Super Sentai movies.
They'll double, well, 199 was.
I'm talking about outside of version.
Okay, it's the exception, not the rule. But, it was double billed with the O's Shogun movie. That's normally how it goes. Sometimes they'll have shorter movies billed with other shorter films.
They showed the Super Sentai one first, and then the Kamen Rider one. That's how it's always gone.
Yep.
Now, this one starts off with the ghost ship. Really, this movie doesn't do much.
None of these standalone Sentai movies ever really do.
Yeah.
They never do.
I think some people said, the on-film one was really good. But that was Luke Pat's one.
Okay.
And really the only thing that this movie really does is the combination of the villain, of the mooks from all the previous seasons. And then the Gokaigers use Battle Fever and make it dance away. Also, the G3 Princesses show up.
Yeah, they have a little cameo, which for those who don't know, G3 Princess is an idol group composed of previous Sentai actresses.
And a villain.
Go on, Sentai actresses and a villain. You have Go on Yellow, Go on Silver, and Keka Yellow, a.k.a. Pollution Minister Keka Alicia and they're all from Go Under.
So those exist.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But other than that, this movie doesn't really do anything. I mean, there's a fake Gokaiger.
There's a fake Gokaiger. I'm already bored with it.
You should be. Because then you just defeat it, and that's really the end of the movie.
Well, there's a ghost ship, and on that ghost ship is probably
spooky!
something. And there's probably something aboard the spooky ship that can get them a shortcut to the greatest treasure in the universe. And
that's it.
Spooky boogie.
I knew you were gonna go there. So aboard the spooky boogie vessel, there's a ghost pirate who's...
I never finished that show.
Neither did I. It wasn't very good.
I killed it for you.
I just didn't think the show was very good.
Boo! Spooky boogie.
Anyway,
where was I?
You said the spooky boogie vessel.
Okay, so the spooky boogie vessel, there's a ghost on there, and he's like, haha, I will send you to this dimension. And they go to an alternate dimension where they have to fight past Sentai villains. Because ghosts, get it? Hope you do. And then there's a scene where they're fighting the villains. They're fighting all these past minions, and then they fuse together into one giant monstrosity. And then it starts dancing for some reason, and because it starts dancing for some reason, they turn into Battle Fever. And then they're like, aha, we shall bonjour them to death.
Yes.
And so they do. And then they beat them, and then the scene's over, and then nothing happens.
And then the next thing they do is they fight the very first villain from Super Sentai ever in the baseball mask.
Yeah, they fight Baseball Mask in a baseball game.
As the Go Rangers.
As the Go Rangers, and they defeat him by throwing a ball that makes the G3 Princesses appear. And they're like, oh, don't hit us, we're sexy. And then he doesn't, and then they beat him, and then he explodes, and then...
And he says, I'm sorry.
And then we move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Movie over. Not so spooky.
Well, they fight, like I said, fake Gokaiger, and that's the end of the movie.
And they fight fake Gokaiger. I thought the ghost ship design was cool.
Yeah.
Fake Gokaiger gets a cool cape and an eye patch.
Still boring as fuck.
This is stupid. The giant horn in the middle.
But guess what?
That's how you stab somebody.
Still boring as fuck. This entire movie.
It's a rhino hat.
This movie is boring AF.
Yeah, that's how a lot of these.
It's not awful. At least I didn't think when I was watching
mid-tier
it.
shit.
I wouldn't call it mid-tier. I'd call it passable for a lazy Tuesday afternoon when all other forms of entertainment have vaporized.
Vaporized.
Yeah.
God damn. All right.
Well, vaporized or either just not into anything else.
I was just very bored during this whole movie.
Fair enough.
You're not wrong, because I watched this movie this morning.
I'm so sorry.
I don't remember it.
I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Anyway,
There's a reason I wanted to watch this one first.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to talk about it
Fuck.
first.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say about that one.
Next movie.
Space Sheriff Gavin.
Gokaiger versus Gavan, because this is the 35th anniversary of Gavan and the
35th of Sentai, 30th of Gavan.
30th of Gavan.
And this is the second time that Super Sentai has crossed over with something other than Super Sentai. They crossed over with Decade and Shinkenger.
Oh, okay.
And now we've crossed over with Gavan.
Yeah.
Sorry, nowadays, because that's like a yearly thing, it's not as special.
Well,
they
this
stopped-
was the
they
second
stopped.
time that happened.
They stopped doing it.
I know, but
Thank God.
it
Because they
And
were all trash.
honestly, I thought this movie was wonderful.
was.
I thought it was wonderful until it stopped being wonderful.
When did it stop being wonderful?
About 40 minutes in, where the movie ends and then it just keeps going for another 15 minutes. And then it ends again, and then it keeps going for another 5 minutes.
Hey,
And
it's
then
the Return of the King.
Return of the King was better.
It was a joke.
I know.
Anyway.
Also, Return of the King had more endings.
Yeah, he has a point.
Had a lot more stories.
I like the fact that I like it but dislike it. They tied in Gavin to knowing Captain Marvelous from the past, aka he knew Geed, because the kid actor from Marvelous was Geed.
It's the same guy, you're right. I didn't mind that, though, as part for the story.
No.
I like
Yeah.
that.
It makes sense. Space Sheriff, Space Pirate.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
And how they know each other, I thought was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Also, Kenji Oba.
Yeah.
This whole movie is basically the Kenji Oba Power Hour,
really
made for Kenji Oba Appreciation Day, which I'm declaring to be a national holiday on
January 21st.
January 21st, when this movie was released.
But to be honest, every day is Kenji Oba Appreciation Day.
Oh my! He was in his 50s when they made this movie. He's 63 now.
He does a lot of
out of suit stunt work in this movie, and he's good at it.
What?
Like Jackie Chan level, I can move around and jump and kick with the best of them.
It's just as funny when God, was a Gavin movie we watched? It was a different Gavin. And then Kenji Oba drives
That's the standalone Gavin movie.
the Jeep through the wall just to walk out and roundhouse to kick a guy in the face.
I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
Stop being so good.
This movie,
I am Japanese Jackie Chan. Deal with it.
Yeah, and this movie has 3 Kenji Obas.
That was the greatest scene
because
ever.
for some reason, Denzi Blue and Battle Candia just show up, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Gokaigers, what's up?"
No, hold on. Before we get to that, we had to talk about that first scene where they're fighting.
And how
Gavin
just wipes the floor with them. You do not mess with Kenji Oba.
True, no.
Like I said,
Really don't.
no.
Because they're fighting, like, their ships are fighting first, and the Gokai ship gets shot down. And I love how the fact they make references to the actual show, because they're wondering why Gavin is fighting is, like, after them, and they're like, the Deca Rangers got
It's like the Deca Rangers cleared our name.
Yeah. And then you see Guy, he was coming back from getting groceries. He's like, the hell? And then they have that whole fight scene at night.
Yeah. There's a scene at night.
That's expensive.
There is a very brief fight scene. It happens for like 3 seconds, but there's a fight scene in the rain in the forest in this movie. I'm positive that's in this movie.
The rain in the forest?
Yeah.
They never went to the forest.
I might be thinking of 199.
You are.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I sure?
Yeah, I don't think it's that movie either.
I think it's this movie.
It's not this
I
movie.
know because I watched it yesterday.
They didn't fight in the rain in this one.
It happens for like 2 seconds. It's like blink and you miss it.
If you say so. If you say so, Jacob. I believe not you. But I believe in you, and that's what matters. Back to this.
There you go.
So the Gokaiger are like brought to
Gavan headquarters.
and not even Gavan headquarters. It's an arena.
Yeah.
And
a basketball stadium where they were given permission to film.
Yeah, and they were told, Gavin was told that the Gokaigers had done piracy, and then the guy comes in, and apparently he's like a Zengek action commander.
In disguise. As a human.
And he's also the cousin of the bad guy from the Gavin show.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's like some relative.
I'm your cousin.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
Chief of Maku Prison Ashurada
Yeah.
is his name.
Now, the Moby rates have been taken, but Guy comes in and saves them, and Gavin gives the Moby rates back to them because, like, the only reason I captured you because I needed to get this guy to come out and say who he actually was.
Yep.
And so that's exactly what happened. And then Bosco's there to be a troll.
Yep.
What else does he
That's
do?
the only reason he's in this movie.
Yeah.
That and to get his ass kicked by the Go Busters.
We'll talk about that in a second. Because the first thing that happens is Gavin Bootleg comes in.
Yeah.
Beats Gavin, and then he gets captured
He
and
gets
taken
taken to
Maku prison.
Makuku, as they call it.
Azkaban.
The Maku dimension. Azkaban.
And the Gokaigers go back to the ship, and Marvelous is worried about Gavin because as I said, he knew him from
because he's like, that must have been the guy from the past who saved me in that exploding ship.
Yeah. And then
and then we get the greatest scene ever in
when
Tokyo
Bosco
history.
calls the Gokaigers.
No, I was going to say the scene where they go to the prison and they try and break him out.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
That's
in a
just
second.
such an amazing scene.
The Gokaigers go and they get a call from Bosco. It's just like, here's where he was taken and here's how you can get here. That's when the other two Kenji-Obas show up.
Yeah.
And I love how all of the Gokaigers besides Guy are just like, they look the same and they look just like Gavin. And Guy's like, what are you talking about?
They don't look the same at all. You can tell they're different because they smell different.
Yeah, and I was thinking
Denji
like,
Blue smells like Anpan. The other guy smells like the savannah.
and they're looking at him like,
Now? They're looking at him and like, what are you huffing?
And then
Oh, great. Guy got into the bath salts again.
and they're talking about like, to get to the Maku space, you should use our keys. Because we're Gavin. So they use their keys to get through,
Mm-hmm.
and then
You know the writers were just going like, this will be fucking great.
yeah, and then they get into the. I love the scene where they get into the prison.
Oh my
It's
god,
so
this,
good.
the scene where they get into the prison, there's not a lot of dialogue at first. It's just like them sneaking around.
Da-da, 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 da-da.
Yeah, it's like that, but there's some really great physical comedy in the scene.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
I love, there's like this really small thing, but since they're sneaking around, guys like this the entire time.
Yeah, it's not this. He's doing like
Yeah,
this.
he's
going like.
You're like, what are you doing?
He's like, no,
He's also being a ninja.
Shadow Clone.
because I'm a ninja. I'm a
And
fucking
then they
ninja.
discover like some past Sentai villains just in
Just
there.
like locked up in prison for some reason.
Jelasuto.
Jelashto is there with
Bye.
his wedding ring on. He's
Yeah.
like, the story of how I got here will bring you to tears.
And they're like, we don't have time for this. Bai is there, the fly from Gekki Ranger.
Yeah.
I'll talk about this character in a second because she has like probably the funniest moment in this entire scene.
Mm-hmm.
Vancuria from Magic Ranger's there.
Yeah.
And she's like grabs Joe and is like, you should get me out of here or else I curse you. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute, you're hot. Let's do that first.
Yeah. And then you have
Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow,
From Shizuka and the Owl.
and the Owl, also from Bokenger. And
And-
she's like, if you let me out of here, you can have my photo book.
Yeah. And the three from Gaiark are there.
The three Gaiar guys are there, and the lady as well.
Yeah, and then
Those three.
like one of the Gorming comes down and sees them
It's
after
the greatest.
and they're like,
And he just like slowly starts to go back up the stairs.
To
And
get
then you
to
hear
the
the
second
alarm
alarm
bell,
off.
and they're like, "Ah,
and
dang
then
it."
Marvelous shoots all the locks off.
Yeah, they break all the locks off.
And they
Let
get
everyone
out,
out.
but Vancuria, for some reason, this part kills me. She comes out and is like, curse you all! And then like a light comes down and shines on her. I was thinking like, what is this?
It's greatness.
It's
That's what it is.
so insane, but it's so funny. And
It's so good.
I loved her in this scene more than I loved her in All the Magic Ranger.
Mm.
It was so good because it made no sense.
I just love that whole scene, and then I just love that shot where all the Gomins are coming at them and surrounding them in the cell, and the camera kind of pans up, and you get this great wide shot
Yeah.
of them all fighting each other. It reminded me of the prison fight from Watchmen.
Ooh.
It kind of reminded me of that. And
then we go outside because Bosco's like, "Oh wait,
oh they're gone. I can steal their Ranger keys."
And then
the Go Busters show up. This is their first appearance.
Red Busters comes in and is like, "Stop!" And then you see him ride on Cheetah Nick, although you don't know it's Cheetah Nick yet.
No, it's a motorcycle at this point.
And which is unfortunate because it could have just stayed a motorcycle.
Red Buster gets off this thing cool as all fuck. He just like gets off, just like leans on it real quick, and then like slowly walks towards him. And then Basco looks to left or right, and blue and yellow are there.
And they're like, he's like, "When the fuck? How?"
And then we get that scene of Red Buster using his super speed for the first time, like slashes right up to him, and just starts fighting Bosco. And like we said, once we get to Go Busters, those action scenes are some of the best choreographed scenes I've seen in like any Sentai.
Go check out our top 10.
Up to Lupat.
But yeah, that scene was just fucking amazing. It's also nice to see Bosco get his ass kicked.
Yeah, he really did. He made a mistake trying to go against them.
Not something we never really talk about in our reviews or in our in comparisons or anything like that is the tradition that was started a few years back in Sentai after the airing of the final episode of that season is the Red Ranger
passing of the torch.
The passing of the torch of the Red Ranger. Which I still think Gokaiger to Go Buster is the best one. Because literally, Martha just walks up and goes, stops it, and he stops the punch and he goes, "You'll do." And then just walks away.
And then Buster bows to him as he walks off.
Too bad Marvelous didn't go, "Chicken."
God.
No, that wasn't a thing yet.
But yeah, see,
unfortunately,
having this be the first outing of the Go Busters, it was a great one.
Yep.
And I'm just like, this is how you do this.
Also, our first leather Sentai.
Leather pleather.
Not spandex or cloth.
It was probably hot. Well, no, this is filmed in the winter.
I was gonna say because there's like leaves all on the ground and it's wet and overcast.
And so you're like, well,
it's a cool looking scene.
Yeah. And then,
it's cool looking scene.
I can't wait till we get to review Go Busters so I could be excited and disappointed at the same time.
It's the next one.
But yeah, Joe and Guy take on the Gormans. They transform into Denzi Blue and go on gold. And then the rest of them go through a door.
And leads to a cafe in Germany.
Yeah, and they fight the sister of that one monster from earlier on in the Gokaiger, the one with a giant cyst on the shoulder.
Yep.
And it's like the weirdest thing because it has
the older brother, which is a bunch of giant little bouncing cysts that are made from other things.
Blech.
Yeah, blech.
But yeah, I love how for some reason they do like little themed things here because also it's just more Kenji Oba because they turn into Denzi Blue and go on gold.
Are you really disappointed by more Kenji Oba?
It's like the weirdest thing though. But then they it's battle Kenya and Hurricane Yellow because Luca over there is just playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah, she's like, "It's you, no, it's you." It's no.
And then Ahim and Marvelous go and they fight Monstrake and she turns into Gosei Pink and she's the only one who's by herself, but she handles it like a boss because she fights him and then fights him off. Yeah. And I'm sitting here like, you did this by yourself. Why did we need anyone else in this show? This is why Ahim is the best.
Ahim is low-key killer.
And then Marvelous goes and fights Gavan Bootleg. They get Kenji Oba out. They get out of Maku space. They fight. Gavin goes and fights Gavan Bootleg, and then they fight the action commander. And this is the first time that we get an all pink change.
Yep.
In all
doesn't happen very long, but it happens.
Yeah, he's like he puts them in like a whirlwind or something, and like they turn into all different pink rangers. I see, like, why didn't we get this in the show? We got every other color but pink, and yeah. Then they go all pink, all white, and then all red, and they beat them, and they have this whole thing, and of course a giant mech battle, and then at the end they leave all that behind. And all three of the Kenji Obas show up. Yep. And I love how Don just keeps pointing at them because they all look the same and Guy just keeps slapping his hand down.
Stop it. It's rude to point.
It's like they all the same person. What?
No, they smell different.
Yeah. I like that ending scene between Gavin and Marvelous as well. It was just ending thing for them. It was good. Yeah.
It was a good movie.
It's a great movie for the first 40 minutes, but then it ends, and then they have to keep on fighting for another 15 minutes when we get all those changes and everything. Then we have to have a Meg fight. So yeah, that last like 25 minutes kind of wore it down for me, but I still would recommend this one.
Absolutely.
It's still a good movie. But yeah, that's really all I think about this.
Yeah,
It didn't do crazy good at the box office though.
Not surprised.
No, not surprised at all.
Came in 78th that year.
Ew.
$6.6 million.
Yeah.
Ew.
But yeah, it's still a fun movie to watch.
Oh, no, absolutely.
But yeah, let us know what you think about the movie in the comments below. Don't forget to go Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon again,
Discord.
And let us know,
Twitter is where the Discord invite is.
yeah, let us know what you think about the movie in the comments below. And that is the end of Gokaiger Month.
That's it.
Sad.
Next month, Jacob and I will be doing Ultraman Dyna first.
Have fun with that.
And then we'll all be back for Garo Retsunen after that.
Wow. Wait, this is in season 3.
No. Not even season 5 yet. We're doing this first.
Anyway, bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right.